Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law, and today we're going to explain spousal maintenance law in Illinois in 2020, and also go over some of the recent changes to spousal maintenance law in Illinois. So first, let's talk about how spousal maintenance is calculated in 2020. Statutory guidelines apply when the combined income of the parties is less than $500,000 and the payor doesn't have additional child support or maintenance obligations. So when statutory guidelines are applied, it's a pretty simple calculation. You take 33 and a third percent of the payor's net income minus 25% of the payee's net income, and that's your baseline for what spousal maintenance should be if the statutory guidelines are being applied. There's a couple caveats. The total spousal maintenance can't exceed 40% of the combined net income of both parties, and the combined child support and maintenance payments can't exceed 50% of the combined net income of the parties. And we have an article and video at learn-about-law.com about how to get to net income. But basically, gross income is all income from all sources except the spousal maintenance payments that are part of the case at hand, and then net income is gross income minus certain statutory items. And it's not very interesting to talk about, but you can check out our video and article at learn-about-law.com if you want to learn more about how to calculate net income. So we said anything below $500,000 combined income, they'll usually apply that statutory formula we talked about. If it's above $500,000 in combined income, the court has the discretion to deviate from those statutory guidelines, and usually they're deviating upward. So these are kind of more wealthy people the court is going to apply a series of factors that we discuss in our other articles and videos to determine what an appropriate amount of maintenance and duration of maintenance would be. And there's a lot of factors like standard of living, the duration of the marriage, the needs of each spouse that the court considers. So that's how the amount is calculated. The duration is calculated by using a table that we have in the article associated with this video at learn-about-law.com. And it's essentially, you take the duration of the marriage, and this table tells you what percentage you multiply the duration of the marriage by in order to get the duration of maintenance payments. Now every time I've done a video on this, I've had trouble wording this in a way that makes sense. But essentially, the longer the marriage was, the closer to the length of the marriage you're going to get in maintenance payments. So if you had a marriage that was 2 years, you're not going to get anywhere near 2 years in spousal maintenance payments. If you had a marriage that was 10 years long, you're going to get somewhere in between 2 years and 20 years in spousal maintenance payments. You're going to get closer and closer to getting to 10 years of spousal maintenance payments as the marriage gets longer and longer. Once you get to 20 years, the spousal maintenance payments last for either the duration of the marriage or an indefinite term. So you look at this table and see how many years you've been married, and it tells you what percentage to multiply the length of the marriage by in order to get the length of spousal maintenance payments, and that percentage goes up the longer the marriage was. So we've talked about the amount of spousal maintenance and the duration of spousal maintenance and how those are calculated. Let's talk about some of the changes that have recently occurred to Illinois spousal maintenance. There's nothing significant as of the recording of this video that we know is going to happen in 2020. We're not really expecting any big 2020 changes, but in 2019 there were plenty of changes for both years. So we'll go over some of the 2019 changes. First, the tax treatment of spousal maintenance changed. The spousal maintenance used to be tax deductible for the payor, and it was taxable as income to the recipient. Now it is no longer tax deductible for the payor, and it's no longer taxable income for the recipient. And this is kind of a negative for people that are trying to go through a divorce, because usually courts would allow higher spousal maintenance awards, and parties would agree to higher spousal maintenance awards because of the tax deduction to the payor who is in a higher income bracket. Now the tax deduction happens to the person in the lower income bracket. So it's more money to the government, less money to divide among the divorcing couple. This also caused a change in the way spousal maintenance is calculated. I'm not going to go over what the old formula was, but the formula changed slightly based on this different tax treatment. The duration also changed slightly. The duration of spousal maintenance used to be the percentage was that we talked about, that you multiply by the length of the marriage to get the amount of the length of the spousal maintenance. used to be calculated in 5-year increments. So years 0 through 5, it would be a certain percentage, and then years 6 through 10, it would be you reach the next percentage bracket. Well, now it's calculated in 1-year increments. So each year the percentage goes up slightly. The long and the short of it is that for some people who fall within the middle of those 5-year increments, their duration is going to be slightly shorter. It's not a big change, but it's not a cliff every 5 years that the percentage, the multiplier goes up. So it's not every 5 years you're going to suddenly have a longer duration. It's every year it's a more incremental gain in duration. Some people will pay spousal maintenance for a shorter time. Finally, and importantly, the threshold to apply statutory guidelines changed. So we talked earlier about in 2020, when you have a combined income of $500,000 or less, statutory guidelines apply. It used to be $250,000 or less before 2019. So you've got a whole subset of people between $250,000 and $500,000 that will have statutory guidelines applied, as opposed to having the courts have discretion after this 2019 change in the law. And what that means is for that subset of people between $250,000 and $500,000, they're probably going to be paying less in spousal maintenance because the courts aren't going to be deviating and giving higher awards than the statutory guidelines. So we have lots of articles and videos about spousal maintenance at learn-about-law.com. So if you want to hear more, this is kind of our summary of the whole state of the law. If you want to learn more about any of these individual aspects, like duration or the calculations or the changes, you can check out those articles and videos. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below this post at learn-about-law.com. or below the video on our YouTube station. If you need some help, please give us a call at 630-324-6666. That's 630-324-6666. We offer free consultations in many areas of law, and we have several geographic locations for your convenience. If you found this helpful, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts or watch your videos. Thank you so much for watching and listening.
Thanks so much for watching our video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Click the subscribe button for new videos every week, and download and review us on iTunes. Visit learn-about-law.com for other legal-related articles and videos. Visit our business podcast and video blog, seizeyourbusiness.com, and visit Making Real Estate Fun for real estate videos and podcasts. Call us at 630-324-6666 for a free consultation.